What is up, Aquarius? Thank you for joining me. This is your reading for November 2022, but it's also for whenever you see it, so the month coming up for you. So, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, Venus. What is Aquarius heading toward this month? What is happening? What's going on? You can finally breathe, is what I just heard. So some of you are like Capricorn, releasing yourself from a burdensome situation. But let's see what your cards say. Seven of Wands. So, yeah, Aquarius, you guys are standing your ground. You're not allowed. You might be heading towards some conflict this month, but you're not letting it get to you too much. You're standing your ground, and you're not allowing anybody else to tell you what you need to do or tell you what you need to believe. You're not allowing it anymore. So maybe in the past you've allowed people to sway your opinions or sway what you do, like, or how you do things, but it is coming to an end. You're no longer like letting people walk all over you anymore. Okay, we have the Hermit. So even if this means spending more time alone, so maybe this is a family situation. Maybe you're not getting along with your family, and you're saying, "F it, I am not coming to Thanksgiving." If you're in America, or you're saying like, "I am." I'm not taking part in this friend group anymore because there's toxicity, and you know it. You've been knowing that for a while, but now you're finally like, okay, well, it's okay if I spend some time alone because then I can get to know myself. I can start to meditate or whatever you want to do, but you don't need to rely on these people anymore. You can stand your ground by yourself, is what Spirit is telling me for November 2022, or whenever you see this. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, so there's definitely been a burden for you, like I said. But this burden might be continuing into November. So maybe even you might be so you're standing your ground in November, right? But just because you're doing the right thing doesn't mean that it's going to be pleasant. Okay, so it's still going to get to you a little bit. And Spirit is just trying to say that allow your emotions to come to you, to wash over you, and to just as easily come as they do go. And if you do, you won't suffer too much from this. The more you resist this need to hang on to somebody or a friend group or boyfriend or girlfriend or family member that's toxic, the more it's going to hurt you. So allow it to come and go, right? And I also hear some like difficult thoughts are coming in. So if you do have those difficult thoughts, find some ways to cope with them, some coping strategies. There's plenty of things on YouTube even that you can use to help with difficult thoughts, but also you can start to meditate and to do thought watching and stuff like that, and meditation, and that really does help in the long run. But in the short term, I would say some cognitive behavioral therapy could really be useful for you. Write down what those negative thoughts are, and then write down an alternative to them, so that whenever you notice yourself thinking them, you can say, okay, well, no, this is what I'm going to think instead, right? So find ways to let yourself free of this difficult situation. Okay. Alright, what else does Aquarius need to know, please, Spirit? What does Aquarius need to know for November 2022 whenever they see this? You have the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Pentacles. So you might be focusing a little too much this month on your physical world. And Spirit is trying to say to focus a little bit more on your mental world, on your emotional world, because getting too much into the physical, it's great to be grounded, right? It's very important. But if you focus too much on the physical and not enough on yourself, on the internal world, okay, on the spiritual, on the emotional, right, you are setting yourself up for failure. So in the coming month, don't be overworking yourself, and try to keep a good balance between work and self-care. Okay, you really need to have some self-care rituals in the coming month, because yeah, that's just the warning that I'm getting here, is that you're going to be focusing too much on the physical, on money, on career, on on things like that, when you need to focus on the internal world. Okay, so what else does Capricorn need to know, please, Spirit, for November 2020? Sorry, Aquarius. I said Capricorn. Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for November 2022? Whenever they see this, please, Spirit. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands underneath this. Okay, so this message about standing your ground, don't let these difficult emotions make you change your decision. You're going to make an important decision this month, but it's going to be very difficult sometimes to maintain it. Do not allow yourself to be swayed. On the other hand, with this King of Pentacles reverse, I do feel like some of you are facing some stubbornness. So you really need to use your intuition on this, because on the other hand, for some of you, you might have decided to isolate yourself, and it's in order to prove a point. But you don't need to prove a point. If this is making you hurt, if it's just out of ego, then you need to let it go, okay? So it totally depends on the situation, and you'll know it. So if there's a situation that you have made a decision and you're standing firm in it, and it's all coming from your ego, it's all coming from, like, this person should have done this, and that person should have done that, and I did everything I could, and this is not fair for me, and this and that and that. Well, I mean, you might be right, but also you can't hold too stubbornly on these things, because you might be overthinking it and looking at it in the wrong way. However, on the other hand, this situation may have been really toxic for you, so it really depends. If this situation has been toxic for you, then stand your ground, continue standing your ground. Okay, what else does, oops, I just dropped some cards. So, okay, what else does Spirit have to say about this, please? Two of Pentacles again, keeping balance, like giving one thing up to have another thing, making sure that things are balanced, that things are even, and also for some of you, you might be doing a show, that's what I've just heard, and just making sure that you stand firm and doing what you need to do to prepare for the show, or prepare for this thing that you want to do anyway in November 2022. Make sure you're prepared. You're very well prepared, okay? And so yeah, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, okay? And if you really want something to happen, Spirit is saying you're really gonna need to make sacrifices. But if you do that, you're going to you're going to be okay. If you stand firm in what you believe and make some sacrifices, not necessarily like what I was talking about earlier, but maybe you have to spend less time doing something you want in order to to make something for yourself, but also make sure it's balanced. Don't let things get out of whack. Like you really need to make sacrifices both for so that you can have a good time in November, but also so you can continue to build. So that's just, I feel like that's an issue. It's hard to find. It's hard to stay on one extreme or the other, right? You always on one extreme or the other, but you need to find a middle ground here. Seven of Cups. You're getting like you're starting to realize a dream in the coming month, but you almost feel like it's not real, but it is real. And Spirit wants you to continue to balance things out, to stand your ground, to do what you need to do, to keep going, okay? Because what you're doing is really important. For some of you, this is really important, even for the world or for your community. Last messages for Aquarius: co-create. Yep. What you're doing is very important for the world or for your community, and it is what you're planning, what you want to do has been blessed by the divine. You have been recruited to do this, okay? This is something that you must complete, and that you will. It's not like to put pressure on you, but it's because it's going to happen regardless. But it's something that has been divinely guided for you to do. It could be on a large scale, like for the world, or a small scale. But it's definitely, I really do think has other people are involved here, are going to benefit from what you're doing. But you have to look out for you, number one. And in order to get what you want, you have to look out for yourself first. Make sure you breathe. Take time to breathe. Take time to meditate, like I was saying. You need to balance, okay? That is the biggest thing in this month, balance. All right, Aquarius, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you again. Have a wonderful day.